Hi, I'm Alex, co-founder of Axiom.ai, a no-code browser automation tool. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to automate the date picker or the calendar when there's no input field. Let's dive in. Here we are on an Amazon web page, and I want to automate this date picker I'm going to open up. And you can see this date picker calendar has no inputs. I can't just add an enter text step and input the date directly into the field. That's pretty frustrating, but there is another way. I'm going to show you how. First of all, I'm going to open up Axiom, and I'm just going to click run, and I'm going to talk you through the automation that I made to automate that date picker. So I haven't got any output steps, so I'm just going to ignore that and click run. We're going to see Axiom open up this page. What this bot does, or how I automate this date picker, is by first I add a click to launch the date picker, and you're going to see that date picker pop up. And then what I do is scrape the first month there, August, and then I get the bot to click, and I basically loop through clicking to the set the from date until I match the month up that I want. Then I click on the day, then we set the to date by again scraping the month, and we loop through until I want to click on a day in November until it matches to November. When it does, we then click a date. That's pretty cool. I never get tired of watching bots, especially when you made one that can automate a date picker. So that's how it works. Now let me just talk you through the steps that I use to make this happen, to make this magic happen. So I'm just going to close the bot at this point. And here we are. I've got Axiom 4.0 here, and we've got a new if condition here. And so basically my bot starts off by going to a page. Here we go to page. Just going to stop the bot there. Go to page, and sorry, I lost my train of thought for a moment. Let me get it back. So first of all, the bot just loads up the page we want to go to, and that's the with the one with the date picker. Then what we do is I added the click element step you may be familiar with, and I simply selected the button to launch the date picker. All pretty standard stuff. But then I needed to add a get data step, and then to get data from the current page, we don't need to reload the page. And what I needed to do was select the first month here because I want to set the from date. What I had to do then, what I realized is, what I learned whilst doing this is that I needed to use the Chrome Inspector tool. Let me just open up and I'll just show you what I mean. By looking at the date calendar, I understood it a little bit deeper, because what I discovered was in this format of date calendar, there are, let me just find the correct div. There we go, I'm going to expand it. Let me just go here. I'm just going to flatten that. There's basically, if you see on screen, I'm highlighting the divs. There's one calendar card, a second, and a third. There's essentially 4 calendar cards. And so what I needed to do was scrape the second calendar card. And what I needed to do was work out a custom CSS selector to do that. And what I did was look for a wrapper div that goes around all the cards. So that was calendar month. Then I noticed that the classes are pretty much generic from the calendar card, and I wanted to select one with August. So I just took the this class calendar month grid, and I added an nth child. That's so I could tell Axiom that I wanted the second child of this type. And then finally, after that, I added a selector. I basically looked for a selector that just got me the calendar month, and there it is, calendar month captured. So I added that selector in here. I'm going to press, show you how I did it. Clicked on the arrow, custom selector, and here is the selector itself. So first of all, I got the wrapper div that I mentioned here, calendar month. then the nth child class here, so we select the second, and then the calendar caption. And so that allowed me to scrape, let me just get out of here. That allowed me to scrape the month. I'm not going to make a change to that. What I needed to do was then make sure my max results were set to 1 in the scraper, configure scraper. Basically, because I've already got the web page loaded, I could change the configuration to speed up the scraper. I moved the reattempts to check if the content had loaded, and then I speeded up the wait time for the scroll. So that made the scraper a lot quicker, so that's a useful trick to also learn. Okay, so that's got the month. So basically I've scraped the month that's selected for the from date. And now I'm going to use this if condition, a new feature of Axiom 4.0, and I'm going to check the scrape data. So I literally pass that value in here to check. And so that will pass in the month August. And what I wanted was the month July. So in the condition to check, I typed in July 2023. Now, it's important to remember you must format the conditions and the value you want to check exactly how the text is formatted or value is formatted in the calendar. So I wanted July 2023. You can, of course, pass in the data from a Google Sheet. Next, in my condition, I wanted to basically set the condition to false. So the conditional basically, that allows me to then insert inside the condition step another click element and a jump step. What those steps do, the click element basically, let me open the date picker, the click element inside that if condition clicks on the previous month button. Again, I used a custom selector to grab that. Partly because I'm using custom selectors, because they're actually very precise in date counts and they're quite useful for automating them. And because the actual Axiom selector tool is a bit tricky to use when you're working with pop-ups like this. So what I noticed, I could use this label here as a selector, an attribute selector, and in my click element, select custom. Basically, I added that selector within. It's an attribute selector, so it needs to be in square brackets. It's not a CSS selector. I can share a link in this YouTube video. I'll share a link in the comments. There's to a little article that explains the difference if you want to learn more. Okay, but essentially attribute selectors are in squares, and then a class selector has a little dot before the actual class, and it will also be declared in class equals question marks, okay, on the element. So I'm just going to close that. So that was the click. And then I've got the jump step. The jump step I use to basically go back to the scrape. So every time we click the button to go to the previous month, we then scrape it again because we want to check the value again against the month we want to find because we've changed the month. And we loop that scrape and click until we match the match the values. Once the values match, the condition is triggered, and Axiom goes on to the next step. And the next step is to select the day. Now, again, I used another custom selector. I'll show you why, because it is a little bit tricky you can't really open up that pop-up. So I used the custom selector. It's also quite important actually to use them when automating date pickers, because they're unique. Date pickers generally don't have a unique class, and because you're going to be moving the different days of the months are in different places, so the actual attribute which has the day in and makes it unique is very useful to use. So again, we're going to use an attribute selector, and we can pass that value in from the sheet. And you need to make sure you're selecting the obviously the month to the month you want to pick, the date from the month you want to pick. So I'm going to pick a day in July here. Just show you how I did that selector. Custom. And again, put it in a square brackets because it's an attribute selector. So that's essentially the first bit of the automation done. That's how to set up the from date, and the to date is exactly the same. It's just we change a couple of the selectors, which I'll show you how to do shortly. The thing I did when I built this, I basically used one of our newer features is that I could move. So I basically copied all the steps, clicked below the weight, and copied the selection. So that saved me having to add the steps one by one. Now let me quickly take you through the second set. So what I had to do once I'd copied them is that I had to change the selector in the scraper, because remember I talked about those cards. I could see 4 month cards basically in the date picker. There'd be July, or July was hidden, but there was August, September, and November was hidden. So I had to use this custom selector and the nth child, but because the month I actually want is the 2 month, it's the 3rd child, so I just changed that number to 3, and that was done, complete. Now it's important, if you do copy steps, you've got to must remember to change the settings in them, because they will retain the settings of the original steps. So we need to change a few settings here to make this automation work correctly. So again, in the if condition, what we need to do is change the scrape data to check to the second scrape, because if it's still on the first, it's going to be looking for the from month instead of the 2 month. And so it's going to get very confused. And then we need to set another month for it to set. And this time we want to go to the current month, November. Of course, we can also insert data there. So it's important to change the condition, make sure you update that. Then the next important thing is to, of course, update the selector of the day you want to click. And it's worth remembering when using these attribute selectors, they're often stateful. This move backward to switch to the previous month. So this is the button that clicks, selects, cycles through the months. So that's moved backwards. That's not correct. So we need to actually look for a different selector here, because we want to move forwards. There's probably going to be just a, sorry, clicked on the wrong thing, a change of, here we go, move forward, switch to the next month. So that's the attribute we need. So it's literally a very simple language change. So we want to make sure we're moving forward and clicking on the right button there. Well, that's indeed me being, essentially, it will be set to the correct one. I've just clicked on the wrong condition. Then you just scroll down. Easy mistake to make. That's why I would say label them to date and from date. That will help you not get confused like me. So let me just check that click element, and you'll see I would have edited it earlier. Move forward to next month. So it's worth remembering those selectors need to be changed. Likewise with the jump step. Now, if you duplicated the jump step, it would be still jumping to step 3, which is the other scrape. We need it to jump to step 7, where I've got the next scrape. Of course, bear in mind that if you've inserted these steps into an automation you've already made, then the jumps would need to be set to completely different step numbers. So do get those right. Okay, so I'm just going to collapse that if state condition again. I'm going to check out the last click. And what we're going to see here in the selector as well, we're going to see that this selector is stateful, because it's not your start date. The selector needs to be your end date, because we're of course selecting the end date, the last click here. And that's it. That's how to automate a date picker. You can, if you're doing a single date picker and you need to do it, you'll just need to do one set of these steps. This was obviously for the double date picker. I'll just click run once more because I do love watching browserbots. Pretty cool. Let me just drag it into view. This is a date picker being automated. So if you're ever stuck on a date picker, hopefully you get to see this happen and you work out how to do it from the video. I'll leave it there and say thank you very much for using Axiom. Bye-bye.